You're watching TSN, Canada's sports leader, a division of Bell Media.
From high above Mirabel, Quebec, the Road Warriors of the NASCAR Canadian Tire Series look to conquer the tarmac of Circuit ICAR. And he just muscled through and powered past.
You give me a couple dozen stock cars on a road course, and I'll show you one hell of a race.
They're going for it today. It's going down to the last turn.
Oh, it's on now. No one's looking to give an inch.
Welcome to ICAR.
This is race number 2 of the 2011 NASCAR Canadian Tire Series on TSN. We're at Circuit ICAR in Mirabel, Quebec for the first of 5 road and street races this season. Hello, everyone. I'm Dave Bradley. Along with me is Billy Rose Jr. And Billy, this is definitely a quick sprint race on a pretty demanding track.
Dave, this is an airport track with some short little chutes to it with some twists and bends. It's not like Edmonton where we got multiple lines and all kinds of room where if you miss the apex, you can gather it back up. This place is tough little racetrack. The cars and drivers can't miss their marks. You're surrounded by guardrails. One knock, one nudge, one bad choice is going to end your day.
And you also have to take it easy going over those rumble strips. We have seen some flats and some cars spinning out as a result of hitting those. And as we take a look at the OCR Gas Bar track map, we see a 2.113-mile road course made up of a total of 15 turns, and turn 1 is the one that many drivers are concerned with.
Well, Dave, the funnel effect down into turn 1, especially on the first lap, is going to be important. But we got several real good passing zones. Turn 7 and turn 14, both hairpins. Excellent braking zones to get underneath your competitor. Turn 11 has a real good opportunity as well.
And let's check in with Todd Lewis, who's standing by with the man who turned heads at Indy this year.
Thanks, guys. Yes, he became the first Canadian to win the pole position for the Indianapolis 500, so it's not surprising that we find Alex Tagliani on pole here this afternoon at Circuit ICAR. He circled the 2.11-mile track, 15 turns in 1 minute, 36.49 seconds. Alex, that was a hot lap yesterday. Do you have to pace yourself a little bit for this one?
Yeah, obviously in the first practice yesterday, people saw that a couple of guys were fairly quick. Scotty pushed. He did a good lap, so I really wanted it so bad. I pushed really hard to do that lap, and you know, when you're surrounded by the best NASCAR driver in Canada, obviously it's an honor for me to race in the series with them and against them. Hopefully, you know, we can do a good job in the race.
Thanks, Alex. Good luck today.
Thank you.
All right, Alex Tagliani was a tamer of the tarmac at the Edmonton Indy a couple of seasons ago during NASCAR, but we've got plenty of road warriors here this afternoon, like the 23-year-old from Cambridge, Ontario, J.R. Fitzpatrick. Even though he grew up on oval tracks like Delaware Speedway, he's become a road warrior because 5 of his 6 wins have come on road courses. Now, earlier this year, Canadian businessman Steve Meehan realized his lifelong dream when he bought the assets of Baker Curb Racing and started his own NASCAR team. The next order of business was signing J.R. Fitzpatrick to drive the number 67 Go Canada Racing Ford. J.R. Fitzpatrick and the team have already competed in a number of nationwide events this season. More are on the schedule over the summer, as well as a couple of Sprint Cup events. The goal for this team is to eventually become a full-time Sprint Cup Series team. J.R. back with us here at Circuit ICAR this afternoon, ready to do a little racing. Love the t-shirt, by the way. It's a beauty. Now, you had a little trouble when things got started on Friday. You lost a motor, but a pretty good starting spot in 5th. Now, are you going to charge, or are you going to tell me you're going to be patient?
I mean, you know, it's amazing when I put this t-shirt on how many Quebec people start cheering for me. So I mean, I have to do something. But in terms of Friday, we had a motor go early. I got to thank Derek White especially for letting me drive our old car all day in practice, get lost track time, and the crew got it back together. It was really fast. I kind of got a little screwed over in qualifying a bit there, but I think we got a good piece. Can I tell you I'm going to be patient, Todd? I don't know, because I don't even know. You know, this place is really tight, but we'll go from there.
We'll see what J.R. Fitzpatrick does in terms of patience. Thanks. Good luck this afternoon. Now, of course, the other road warrior that we've seen is 2-time NASCAR Canadian Tire Series champion Andrew Ranger. Andrew's been racing in the K&N Series, picked up road victories there, the ARCA Series as well. In fact, dashed up from Chicago last night where he finished 5th in an ARCA Series event. Andrew, nice to see you back. I don't see a J.R. Fitzpatrick t-shirt, but no. It's going to be tough for you to...
I'll wait for that one.
Okay, yeah, it's going to...
for a t-shirt like that.
It's going to be tough for you to charge from the back of the field, which you you have to do because it was Dave Jacobs that qualified the car yesterday.
Exactly, like you said, I was in Chicago yesterday. We finished 5th. But you know what? We are here in Mirabel, you know, in front of my crowd. It's pretty fun. But start on the back, it's going to be a big challenge for us. But we are ready. You know, I did an ARCA 2 weeks ago, and we won there. But those guys have much experience there, but it's going to be hard.
Andrew Ranger, good luck this afternoon.
Thank you very much.
Andrew Ranger and the rest of the drivers are strapping in. When we return to Circuit ICAR, all of the road warriors get set to take the green flag.
The second event of the 2011 NASCAR Canadian Tire Series is brought to you by Mopar, authentic performance. Castrol Edge, our best Castrol ever. E3 spark plugs, born to burn. And by OCR Gas Bar, proudly servicing the Mohawk community. And the anthems have just wrapped up here at Circuit ICAR. There is track owner and promoter Mark Arsenault wishing Alex Tagliani luck in today's race.
Well, Dave, Alex isn't the only big-name driver here at ICAR today. Walking around today, I seen Jacques Villeneuve hanging around, just looking at the cars and wishing he was driving one.
And Jacques Villeneuve has 2 NASCAR Canadian Tire Series starts. You saw our Castrol points leader, the 22 of Scott Steckley. Of course, he won the opening event, but he can gain valuable points on Pete Shepard, who's not here. Let's go trackside for those famous words.
Hubert Meillard, le maire de Mirabel, va donner la commande pour démarrer les moteurs. Pilote, démarrez vos moteurs.
We heard from Alex Tagliani, our pole sitter, earlier in the broadcast. Alex Tagliani said to me earlier, tire management is going to be the key. That's what he's focused on. Scott Steckley, very quiet. He just said, I'm ready. The champion from 2010, DJ Kennington, a strong, smooth race. That's what he's hoping for. Come home with the best finish possible. And Kerry Mix said earlier today, his car is going to change an awful lot during this race. The key for him, setting the car up to have the best handling late in the race.
Kerry's been testing that car nonstop. He told me he found something over the offseason, something he overlooked last year. Now he's ready to go, and the car looks strong.
And we saw the 47 and 04 cars out of the Dumoulin brothers stable. They had great runs in qualifying here. And we'll be riding on board with the 99 of Derek White, who's done lots of testing here at Circuit ICAR. That beautiful 2011 Dodge Charger RT pace car heads out of pit lane, leading this group of cars. Let's take a look at the starting grid. You see Alex Tagliani, Scott Steckley on the front row. DJ Kennington and Kerry Mix will make up row number 2. Then you take a look back to row number 3. There is J.R. Fitzpatrick and Peter Kloot driving the 42. Row number 4 has Robin Buck in the 66. Don Thompson Jr. driving the 8. And row number 5 has LP Dumoulin in the 47. There's Jason Hathaway driving the 3. JF Dumoulin drives the 04, and Eli Arsenault in the 03. They'll make up row number 6. Mark Dilley's in the 9. Patrice Brisebois is driving the 71, row number 7. Row number 8 starting spots for John Ferrano in the 59 and Derek White in the 99. Row number 9, there's Jason White from BC in the 21. And Martin Roy, driver of the 90. Ron Beauchamp Jr. is in the 60. And Noel Dowler makes his first start in the 5. Stephen Matthews, driver of the 15, alongside Isabelle Tremblay in the 07. 2 drivers going for the Rookie of the Year this year. Dave Corsol's going to drive the 94, starting at a row 12, alongside Dexter Stacey in the 55. Michel Pilot in the 85 and Andrew Ranger in the 27 make up row number 13. And all the way in the back of the row is the 23 of Jeff Lapsevich. Led by Tim Ellis and Don Barnhart. They worked late rebuilding that number 23 Tim Hortons Dodge after he hit the wall in practice.
Let's take a look at the E3 spark plugs race analysis. It's 32 laps. That's 102 kilometers on this tight little ring. The track is 2.11, 15 turns, and it's a nice sunny 24 degrees. Looking good in the weather department.
And practice for most drivers was used just to get acquainted with the layout of this 15-turn airport circuit. And you saw Andrew Ranger in the 27, PNH Dodge, and Jeff Lapsevich in the 23 Tim Hortons Dodge. They've got a long way to go this afternoon.
Well, Dave, 2 real good road course drivers sitting out the back. If they hook up and get through traffic together, they can get the job done from out the back.
Eli Arsenault in the 03. He's actually an instructor here at ICAR. Lots of road racing experience. His home track knowledge should come in handy.
Well, yeah, for sure. Road courses are all about entrance apexes and exit apexes, and if you hit them every time, you can pick up a lot of positions.
The field now forming up for the starts. Jason Hathaway will ride along with one of our onboard cameras in the Rockstar Dodge. But take a look at that front row. It's Alex Tagliani from Indy to ICAR. He'll start on the pole alongside your points leader, Scott Steckley, and we're green in Mirabel.
Down into turn one for the first time. Let's see what happens. Pretty tight getting down in there, but if they're patient, there's lots of room. There's 3 wide back in the pack. Everybody through clean.
You said patience, and didn't look like anybody was using any of it, but they managed to get through cleanly.
Well, race car drivers strap on the helmet. Common sense goes out the window, but they got through there clean. A little bit of bumping and banging going on. But Tagliani's starting to stretch it out.
You saw the 59 of John Ferrano get a little bit loose, but he managed to gather it back up. And here comes the 84 of J.R. Fitzpatrick, taking a look around the outside of the 42 of Peter Kloot.
Fitzpatrick actually had to touch the brake on the exit of the corner, so he did not run in the back of Kloot getting off the corner. Now he got underneath him in that corner to take the spot.
And we got trouble. It's the Emco Dodge, the 5 of Noel Dowler off the pace, and the 90. That is Martin Roy. You can see the rear end not pointed straight in that Dodge, as he's got problems, bigger trouble there for Noel Dowler.
Well, Noel Dowler certainly made contact with something. The right front suspension is right down on the racetrack. Sustained super damage there. We don't really know what happened. We didn't get a good look at it.
As always with road courses here in the NASCAR Canadian Tire Series, just localized cautions in the event of a problem like that. Look at the Castrol Dodge of DJ Kennington get loose.
DJ got a whole foot full of throttle there, and the car just hazed the rear tires, allowed Fitzpatrick to jump right up in the rear bumper.
Billy, how difficult is it really to get some traction here on an all-concrete surface?
Well, it's certainly difficult until the rubber gets down. Rubber on rubber is very good. They don't got a lot of rubber down on the outside groove. He got out there, and the thing just blazed the tires.
And that definitely cost DJ Kennington. You saw J.R. Fitzpatrick go by, and the 66 of Robin Buck in the Dodge Challenger, but out front is the Hot Wheels Dodge, the 12 of Alex Tagliani being chased by the Canadian Tire Dodge, the 22 of Scott Steckley. There's Kerry Mix in the Dickies Ford running in third, but the top 3 able to open up a gap now in the rest of the field.
The fun part about this, it just shows you how good these guys that have been growing up on oval tracks are at these road courses. Steckley, not a lot of road race experience. Kerry Mix, yeah, pretty good experience. You know, the old CASCAR division used to go to 2 tracks a year. He was always tough. He won a couple, but these guys are oval experts. And look what they're doing in the road course against the Indy specialist.
And we've talked to Kerry Mix in the pits before. He loves these road and street races.
Dave, you were with me when we talked to him in the pit. He was really excited about the road courses this year when he found out what was wrong with his race car. He told us straight up, Rousey, keep an eye. This thing's going to be good.
And don't count out Alex Tagliani in the front. He's leading, and he's got a healthy margin, about a 3-car length gap now on the 22 of Scott Steckley. He's won one of these things in a NASCAR Canadian Tire Series car. Remember, he didn't have a full-time ride in an Indy car a few years ago. Got into a Dave Jacobs car, ran a full season, or nearly a full season, in the NASCAR Canadian Tire Series, picking up a win in Edmonton.
Absolutely. No stranger to these big stock cars. Down the inside, there he is. Kerry Mix, a bold move up the inside.
Outbreaks the 22 of Scott Steckley, so gives second place to the 02 of Kerry Mix. And right there, you see the rumble strip that we're talking about off the top of the show. Very sharp edges, so if the drivers get a little bit too greedy, it could really cost them.
Well, the way the camber works in the front end of these cars, the car unloads in there, and you've got the sidewall of the tire exposed to that rough concrete, and it will tear it apart and go flat.
One of the drivers who we knew was going to be on the move in this race, the 84 of J.R. Fitzpatrick. There you see him coming into the screen, and we do have a full course caution. You see the waving yellow flag going into that corner, so the pass for the lead that Kerry Mix was making on Alex Tagliani will be nixed, and Mix will have to give it back as the 2011 Dodge Charger pace car comes onto the circuit.
Well, Tagliani was about to lose that spot to Mix, but we don't know whether he'd seen that flag before Kerry made the move or not, but it's all for naught. We go back to the last completed lap, and we'll restart that way.
And heartbreak for the number 5 of Noel Dowler, making his first NASCAR Canadian Tire Series start, and it ends with right front suspension damage. We'll be back from Mirabel.